Hello citizens, welcome back. It's City 4, Southampton 0. It's 4 goals, 3 points, a clean sheet and another Haaland goal. So make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe. This is the match reaction. Let's jump into it. So this was no classic by any means. You know, I said in the match preview that Southampton last year, they treated us to absolute bore-fest. They dragged out a 0-0 and they dragged out a 1-0. And they played for time in both of those games and they got what they wanted. They got a point against us. And in this game, I expected pretty much the same. You know, just that this time our quality showed in moments where it mattered. The only surprise, really, is that Haaland didn't score more goals because he definitely tried to score more and it just didn't work out for him today. But before we get into Haaland, let's start off with the back four. Pretty much how we expected: Diaz, Ake, Akanji, and Cancelo. I thought he would have pushed Ake left back, brought Cancelo to the right, and played Akanji and Diaz in the middle. But he didn't do that. He left Cancelo on the left and he put Akanji on the right with Ake and Diaz in the middle. And to be honest with you, the back four, they were solid. They didn't really let anything pass. Ake and Diaz were great in the middle. Cancelo going forward, going back. I thought he was really good today. You know, Cancelo, for me, deservedly man of the match. I thought he was really, really good. He took his goal superbly on his left foot. He got an assist for Haaland in the second half. Honestly, fantastic performance from him. But I will say, I think my favourite signing this summer is quickly becoming Akanji. I think Akanji's been incredible. The way he handles himself, his strength, you know, he wins pretty much everything in the air. He's good on the ball. He can use both feet. He looks like a really solid player. I'm really impressed with Akanji as well. And for 15 million or whatever it is we signed him for, I think he's going to be a fan favourite for years. Wonderful, wonderful player. And what I will say as well about the back four and about Southampton in particular, I haven't seen the stats because I've only just got home, but most of the game seems to have been played in the Man City half, you know, between the back four on the edge of the box. Because Southampton were pressing us pretty high and they had a high line. Their defence was pretty much sat on the halfway line most of the game. And we were just passing between the back four, avoiding the press, passing it around them, passing it through them. And when we got through them and we got across the halfway line, we were causing them all kinds of problems at their end of the pitch, which is probably why they were sitting so high up. So the back four really did well today along with Edison. So no complaints, honestly. They did a fantastic job. Like I said, avoiding Southampton press. There was a couple of moments where a few passes went awry, but you're going to expect that for a 90-minute game. But they kept a clean sheet. And I think that's what we need, because going into next week, of course, we've got Liverpool next weekend. So a clean sheet, I think, was massive in this game. In midfield, you know, he played De Bruyne, he played Bernardo, and he played Rodri. It was good to see Rodri back. Usual self, you know, holding off 3-4 players while he's doing his short passes. A couple of his passes, again, a little bit right, looked a little bit rusty, but coming back from injury, you'd expect it. But it was good to have him back. And again, for Liverpool next week, I think this game is quite important for him to put minutes in on the Premier League, because if he plays against Copenhagen, it's not exactly going to be the same standard. So I think it was quite important for him to play in this game. And again, he did a good job. He protected the back four. Bernardo, phenomenal. Saw him a left back at times. I saw him a right back at times. He was absolutely everywhere on the pitch today, Bernardo. Incredible performance as usual. De Bruyne, not up to his usual standard, but you know, even when he's not at his best, he's still creating plenty of chances, and he would have had a couple more assists today if Haaland could have finished a couple, or Mahrez did a little bit better on the wide, or Foden. But I will say, his pass to Foden was the perfect ball. You know, he had Haaland go right, he had Foden go left, and he picked out the right pass, because I think Haaland was offside as well, looking at the highlights. So, all in all, good performance from him, and Pep dragged him off in the second half, obviously resting him. And I wouldn't play him against Copenhagen in midweek. I just wouldn't. Front three, Pep changed up again. I was really surprised to see Mahrez, because, like I've said in the last couple of videos, I don't think Mahrez has impressed this season so far. And Pep himself said Mahrez needs to do better. But he got his goal. He took it well. Nice left foot half volley from, I think it was a Rodri ball. Great ball out by Rodri to him in the edge of the box. So, yeah, Mahrez did okay. And, of course, he was dragged off in the second half for Palmer. And up front, Haaland, you know, and he had Foden on his left. Haaland today, I mean, that shot he had in the first half where it hit the inside of the post, went across the line and out. I thought that was just going to sum up his day for him. And I thought, you know, when it just doesn't for you, it's just not going to work out. And he seemed to have one of those games where he was maybe trying too hard, or it just wasn't happening for whatever occasion. But being a big moment striker he is, even though we were already 3-0 up, he was in the right place at the right time for Cancelo's cut back, smashes it near post, and he did get his goal. And that is 10 games consecutively that he scored for us now. I think it's 7 straight Premier League games. So I think he's equaled Aguero's record there for the club. Incredible player, incredible form. And again, that goal is going to be important from going into next weekend against Liverpool. So yeah, that was pretty much everyone. You know, I thought everyone had a decent game. What I will say is I'm hoping Pep, you know, he made a lot of changes against United last week in the second half. He brought on 4 players at once. He did the same here against Southampton. And each time he's done it, the standards dropped, of course. And that's when Southampton will look their most dangerous after them substitutions, you know, when the energy goes. So I want to see Pep make them a little bit more, you know, bring on a couple of players earlier and then maybe stagger the substitutions a little bit. But what I will say, and what I am impressed about from Pep this season, is that he is trusting the youth, you know. I'm seeing more Rico Lewis. I think he looks like a fantastic talent. And Pep seemed to have pushed him in the DM role today. I thought he was going to push him right back, but he kept Akanji there when he brought him on. And he just sat him there ahead of the defence. And I thought he was really good. You know, he looked quick. He looked good on the ball. His passing was pretty decent. You know, and he got it out to Palmer quite a few times. Gomez, going forward, I think he's a wonderful player. Going backwards, he's had his ups and downs. But, I mean, I think that's going to come with time. I really do. I think when he's playing with Diaz and Akanji and Ake and all them, I think he's only going to benefit him having more minutes. And, of course, he needs more minutes too. Palmer, come on. Of course, I think he's probably going to be the natural successor to Mahrez when he goes. I think when Mahrez does leave the club, Palmer's going to take over from him. And he looks like a good fit. He looks like he can do everything Mahrez does. And I think the fans at the moment want to see more Palmer than they do Mahrez. So Palmer's got a great future there. And of course, Alvarez came on. And it's not quite worked out for Alvarez, has it? I mean, we all want to see him. We all think he's a great finisher. I think he's a wonderful player. It's just that obviously when you got Haaland up front, you know, you're bound to sit on the bench a little bit more. But that's what I mean. Pep's bringing on these players. And if you look at the substitutions he got made, they're all young players. They're all future players. And I'm really happy about that. But all in all, it was quite a boring game, quite a dull one. Southampton didn't offer too much. But that's great credit to City, of course, just stopping everything they had. And in the second half, they had their flurry of chances towards the end that make the stats probably a little bit more respectable for them. But in truth, we dominated from start to finish. It was a comfortable game. Haaland's on the score sheet as always. And we go into next week flying. I mean, we're unbeaten this season. We're on a nice run of games. We've kept a clean sheet, which is massively important. And we beat one of them little bogey teams that we seem to have. Southampton, they like to frustrate us. They like to annoy us. And last season, you know, like I said, we failed to beat them twice. We're going in. Haaland has kind of changed the mentality of the club. He's got everyone flowing at the moment. Everyone's kind of amped up and excited to have this new strike. And you can see when Haaland scored, everyone running to him and high-five and laughing at him a little bit because he's finally got his goal because he was a bit frustrated. And Southampton are the kind of team last year we wouldn't have beat. So we're going into this one, even though it was a boring game, even though we were in like second gear for most of it, we still came at 4-0 winners. So little improvements. That's all it's about. It's tiny little improvements. And like I said, we go again. You know, another 3 points and we're top of the table for the time being, which is where you want to be, of course. Because I think it's crucial that we end up top of the table before the World Cup. Because December, January is our best year under Pep usually. You know, it's our best time of the year. We go and run games where other teams get tired. We rotate a little bit more. We seem to have a little bit more energy than other teams. And we always go on them main, like crazy runs of like 15, 16 game winning streaks. We don't get that this season because we've got a World Cup right in the middle. So we need to be top before the World Cup hits. So where we are now, that's where you want to be. So well played, City. And yeah, fantastic result. Well, it's a fantastic result, however you look at it. It's only disappointing is that Haaland didn't get a hat-trick. But I'm sure he'll get one against Liverpool next week. So thanks for watching as always. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments who your man of the match was. Mine was Cancelo. I think he deserves it today. Assist and a goal. And yeah, bring on next week, I suppose. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.